Hello again. Glad to welcome everyone. You just saw the donation details screen, and I like to remind you that we will show them after every speaker, so you can make a screenshot or you can send them to your friends, your colleagues, donate yourself. And nevertheless, thank you for your support. And I would like to invite our next speaker. For this time, it will be Oleg Pridiuk. He is the founder of Gamedev.Camp, and his speech is Ukrainians undervalue themselves in Europe, but they should not. So welcome, Oleg.
Hello, people. Do you hear me well? Do you see?
Yeah, I can hear you well, and you have an amazing haircut. These blue and yellow colors are amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm based in Vilnius right now, and when I walk like this on the streets, I just get Slava Ukraini all the time, and it's just cheers me a lot.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh.
Awesome. So how are you?
like all of us, but probably in a safe place, so I probably cannot complain a lot, right? Right.
Yeah, I can. So thank you for joining us today. I can see your presentation. I can see you and hear you clearly. So please take your time, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. And yeah, thanks for giving me some airtime to tell my story, and thanks for holding this event. I think it's very, very important. I really hope that all talks from this event, like they get viral on the internet, people watch them, people better understand what's going on in Ukraine and what does it mean to be a game developer from Ukraine, to resonate with our industry. So yeah, I'm connecting from Vilnius, but I'm originally from Rivne in Ukraine. And sadly, my Ukrainian is not good enough to deliver this talk in Ukrainian, але сподіваюся, що наступного разу зроблю презентацію українською мовою. So let's hope next time I can talk in Ukrainian. So my talk today is based on my personal experience of how Ukrainians who lost their jobs at home and how they're looking for a job in Europe for whatever reasons, and how it all works, and how they cannot really explain what they do and how cool they are. Ukrainians, maybe they don't know, maybe they cannot explain. So, and European HRs, they cannot really understand what Ukrainians are doing and like how to work with them. So again, that's all my personal experience, and I will explain how, where, and what I got this and all. I'll bring some context, then I'll bring some examples, and then we'll make a conclusion. Look, okay. So you may know me from my previous work at Unity or at King, the famous company behind Candy Crush game. But I recently have founded Gamedev.Camp, an online school for professional game developers. We raised money, we were about to announce our investment in the whole school and all that, and run the first cohort, and then the war started. So we had our PR ready, we had teachers, we had students, we had everything, and then the war started, and we were like, we just cannot. It doesn't make sense. We couldn't like continue mentally. So had a call with our investors, and they supported us they supported that like for the next few months, we focus on one single thing, that helping as much Ukrainians as we can, and just the phrase from the investor call, I mean, they gave us money to run the school, and they're like, look, the only thing you should do now is help as many Ukrainians as you can. And like, probably chose good investors for what I'm doing. And so we made this page. Let me show how it works. So a page with 300 plus jobs available to Ukrainians in Lithuania. That's where I'm based, so it was easy for me. Like it's a list of 20 plus games companies in Ukraine who offer jobs to Ukrainians, both locally and remotely, and like with direct contacts with HRs who know who are waiting like for Ukrainian CVs and for Ukrainians to talk to them. So like I talk to all these companies, right? And we started a Telegram chat to sort of help people understand more the country and the industry and all that. And so that Ukrainians can meet locals like Lithuanian game devs, maybe before they move, maybe something. So there is somebody to connect. So there is a community. And so most stories today are from this chat. And most things that I'm talking today are from this and about that. So when we launched the chat, we quickly saw that the way Ukrainians present themselves is not what Lithuanians or pretty much Europeans expect. So we started doing CV reviews and portfolio reviews to help people package themselves so that Europeans understand them. And so we saw, like, what we saw that experienced professionals from Ukraine apply for junior positions. They think that they will get the job faster if they apply for junior, but this doesn't work since European HRs usually don't want overqualified employees because of motivation and other issues. Then we see that people put everything they can on a CV, like I plant trees, I compose music, I can use Unity, also I do game design in Game Maker or something. And this doesn't work since recruiters want people who are the best for each given position. And when you put like everything, they cannot understand. So who you are, how comes you don't know what you're doing and what you're good at. And overall, like we see that for Ukrainians, it's very hard to comprehend job positions and to understand like, so what is expected. Like I will bring some examples and then we'll talk a bit more in depth about it. And I also have the chat on my screen. So if you have questions, you can ask as we go, and I'll answer that after the call. So look at Max. Actually, he has a great portfolio, but he thinks he's a junior. He wanted to apply for a junior position. His portfolio is very good, and I forwarded it to HRs, some of the friendliest HRs from around, and they were like, "Look, he's good enough for a mid, like junior to mid, but like he's hireable." He's hireable. So then we talked to some of the like 3D professionals from different studios, and they're like, yeah, like this dude is good enough. He's meat. So then we work with Max to like reposition himself, because on his CV he would put something like, hey, please hire me. I'm a junior, ready to work like for food. And then we reposition himself as a mid-level professional, and then people wanted him because his profile is good enough, his portfolio is good enough. And then he tells like, look, I'm mid-level professional and I'm good at this. Then people understand him, HRs understand him, recruiters understand him, hiring managers understand him. So he tells he's a mid, then he's a mid, then he's hireable. When he was putting himself as a junior, people would think like, hey, yeah, maybe his work looked good, but maybe he took a while to make them or something. So anyways, so we told Max to tell that he's great, and that's how people start liking him more. Now, let's talk about Olga. Olga is also a very, very senior person, like with a lot of experience. She's an experienced visualizer, experienced 3D artist, experienced interior designer, even architect, and he can do VFX, and she can do like a lot of functions. She functions like a full-fledged studio, all in one. But then she was like, hey, yeah, but I don't have that much experience in game dev, so probably I'm junior. I want a junior position. The problem is that when you tell that you're junior, people really don't want to hire you because they don't have junior positions usually. Or if they have, these are for the students. So we suggested like Olga that she removes her non-game dev experience and puts like focuses, repackages herself more as a game dev, like only relevant experience, relevant for game dev. So pretty much it sounds like, hey Olga, can you please remove like whatever 70-80% of what you can do, and then you're good enough. So it was very hard for her, like, hey, I'm like, I can do everything. Why are you telling me like to pretend that I can do this if I can do like that? So, but that worked, since she is more understandable. People understand what they can hire her for immediately. So yeah, less is more. It's hard to accept that you have to focus, you have to understand what you're doing and adapt it to the given job offer to be more understandable for European HRs, right? And overall, like, I mean, this one single tag, right? I'm a 3D artist. It's like a topic for the conversation so that you are understandable, so the HR, the manager, the recruiting manager can understand like how to talk to you about, and then how to start the conversation. And then you can say that, hey, yeah, but also I'm actually like a full-fledged studio, all in one. I'm so good. But you still need, they still need to understand what task you are the best at. And that's usually one task. You cannot be best at everything. You cannot want to do everything. You cannot be motivated to do everything. So like choose one that you're best at. One more thing, or one more CV. So this is the second version of the CV of Max. That's the updated version, and the first version had a lot. So Max is still studying. He studies as a in music, right? He wants to work as a audio person, whatever, in a game studio. He's still studying. But he actually has lots of work experience. And like whatever, petrol station keeper, project manager, something, quality assurance tester. If Max puts this all to the CV, he sort of wants to communicate, hey, I know how to do work, I know how to complete work, I'm good. But in Europe, it scares people. They think that Max doesn't know what he wants to do. So I suggested that Max removes everything and keeps only his audio experience, even though he's super junior in audio, right? He's junior as an audio person, as a sound person. His portfolio is very, very poor, like weak, small. He's a junior. Everybody, when they're junior, they like have weak portfolios, but it's fine. So if Max like angles him like that he puts only his music-related skills, only his music-related experience, he's more understandable. And then, yes, he has to slowly iterate on his CV, on his portfolio. His first portfolio will and is like, yeah, it's junior, it's poor, but it's fine. It's fine because he is understandable. So he will need to look for positions where they want a junior person who will be able to grow fast. And that's the ideal person for him, and that's how he can get hired. Somebody will just give him a chance, like, hey, look, he's a motivated, like, fully invested in audio, probably he's good. The next slide is special. So how do you think, what is this slide about? Who wants to guess what this slide is about? Let's make it loop. So this is like a senior developer enters the chat, right? And everybody's like, oh, wow. In our chat, there was a story with Serhiy. So he appeared and he's like, no CV, no whatsoever. But then he's like, hey, I just have 8 years of Unity experience and I have some hours to spend between volunteering. And instantly there is a queue. Like everybody wants to talk with Serhiy. So it's like, why? Because when you are a senior engineer, everybody knows what to expect from you. Everybody knows, like, everybody has a job, like for somebody senior, for somebody who can deliver. Like as a junior, you're like, expectations from you are like small, probably. Like if you're not disturbing, like you're good enough. Mid-level professional, like you're expected like to deliver something, and senior person is expected to both deliver, help mids, help juniors, and like keep everything. So yeah, then Anatoly showed up, and he also like, hey, I have like whatever 8-9 years experience, and his CV was on some, I think, headhunter website or some, like, it didn't look good, but it wasn't important because, well, he had all this experience, and that's. So the main angle of my talk is like this whole dance with the portfolio, with the CV, is like to make yourself more understandable for Europeans. Is like, this is how you get a chance for a job conversation. Like, to package yourself is a way so that Europeans give you a chance, like, to talk to you. Right? You will still, like, get a test task, you know, like, and you will be checked for soft skills, and you still may get a no. But, like, your polished CV and your polished, understandable portfolio is just a way to get this chance to interact with the company, so that company understands what position they can hire you for. And that's what Ukrainians need help with, from what I see. Just to get more understandable, to be given a chance, because Ukrainians are super talented and super skilled, but Europeans don't understand that. So I will make a conclusion now. And in the QA session, we can talk about the elephant in the room. Look, I understand that my talk today feels like I'm kind of saying that, hey, Ukrainians, go immigrate to Europe and work there, pay your taxes there instead of Ukraine. Actually, that's not what I'm saying, but it may feel like that. And we have plenty of time after this talk, so we can discuss this. Is it fine right now, like, to go work in Europe, or like, what does that mean? How to pay taxes and all that, like, the moral thing. And we can discuss this in Ukrainian or English language. I understand both, right? But now let's go to the summary of the talk. Hiring in Europe is quite different from Ukraine, because of cultural differences, because of mindset differences. Recruiters in Europe, they want to make sure you are the right fit for the job. You are the best fit for the given position. You're not overqualified. You enjoy the kind of task. You're whatever, like, you know, the soft skills, like team player, fast learner, nice person, and other soft skills. And the soft skills matter, since in Europe, I mean, the nature of work is usually more about like shipping global products, taking ownership instead of just like waiting for the tasks to be assigned, like in outsourcing business, right? So you as an employee are expected to be more proactive, responsible for the whole product, not just your part, for the whole product, and take decisions too. Also, firing people is very expensive and it's very hard. So Europeans, when they're hiring, they want employee to be nice person, first and foremost, like to have the hard skills, but like the soft skills should be like very good. And often HRs, they actually choose a person with a worse portfolio, worse hard skills, less experience, but that person has to be nice to work with. European studios like usually are for the long-term gain. So what I'm trying to say, the whole talk, right? Your hard skills are very important, and this is a way to get the job conversation with a European game studio. But then there's like a huge problem of soft skills that you also have to pass. But the hard skills, like it's the threshold to get a chance for the job conversation. I also like said it multiple times today, but I want to also reiterate, Ukrainians are great game dev professionals. Ukrainians are great, but they often don't know how to explain it so that Europeans understand that. Ukrainian people, like, you're great. Ukrainians, you're cudowny. But like, you have to explain that on the language that Europeans understand. So that was the main idea of my talk, and happy to reply to your questions if you have any.
Wow, thank you, Oleg. That was very inspiring, and I think, nevertheless, someone told that this is obvious things, and you didn't tell anything new. I believe that this is important because if there is one or two person saw this presentation and they understood that they are amazing, they are great, and okay, I think I can find job right now, and they find this job, I believe you did a great job.
Yeah, right. But I mean, believing in themselves, that's one. But then again, yes, like you have to believe that you're great. That's yes. But like, I mean, all good artists think that they're shit, and it's normal. Like that's
yes.
Like, right? All programmers think that they're
yeah.
shit. Like they look at their code, whatever, from a year ago, and it's like, I have like million ideas how to improve this code.
Yes.
But this is normal. This is normal, and that's the right thing to do. What I'm trying to say is that people need to understand how to tell about themselves so that Europeans understand them, because it's like different value system, different culture.
Communication.
Mm-hmm.
Communication issues, and I think this is one of the most important things right now, because these times communication is the key.
What is also interesting, like what I see from local HRs, that they understand that Ukrainians are stressed and there is war going on, and that people want to volunteer, people want, to work for their country. Like, yes, they still into the job, but there is like, the heart is in Ukraine. So I see a huge tolerance for that, at least here in Lithuania. That like, yes, we understand that by hiring a Ukrainian, that person will be probably less focused on his or her work, but it's fine. So this tolerance inspires me, actually.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing this, because it's one of the thoughts that looks like obvious, but you just describe it, and I think about it. Wow, that is so kind.
I mean, in Europe, you're hiring not an employee, but a person. That person develops and brings his culture to the product too. Like when you're working on a game, which is a global entertainment product, like it's even if it's like whatever, a very basic, whatever, super casual game, it's still like, it is a sum of all cultures of the team. So the employees have to be happy in order to take like the right decisions and to bring good ideas to the product. So by inspiring your employees, like to have good mental health and be happy, you are making also your company and your product better. So I understand it's hard to understand. Like in Eastern culture, employee is an employee. There is no human.
Yes.
In Europe, you treat your employees as people because that's how they function better. Let's put it this way.
Yeah, it's pretty human-centered approach.
Yeah, in a way. Well,
yeah, we have a comment in our chat from Mikita Susha. He told, "How long have I not heard this voice?"
oh, I wonder. Like, I think I'm in a chat. Like, I'm in multiple chats. I thought I'm in a chat. I somehow don't see that. I'm in the event chat.
In
I'm fine.
In Pine, yeah. Session chat, Blue Hole. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Oleg. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. I hope we will meet next time, not under the bombs, but in a peaceful country and in person. So thank you for joining us today.
Yeah,
and
thank you for holding this event. Goodbye, people. Goodbye.